Hello and welcome to the last game of day 28 of StarLadder Star Series Season 8, and it is indeed game 4 of 4 of the second last day of the group stages. That means that tomorrow the last games will be played. For Fnatic it is already the last day. Today they want to win, they need to win, and then they will go to Kiev depending on Navi's game tomorrow, because if Navi loses against Flipside tomorrow there will be a 3-way tie. But for the moment this is their deciding game. For the retry this game doesn't really mean that much anymore, but of course before I go into things, let's welcome my co-caster Mod. Welcome back.
Hello, thank you for having me once again, and this is a big game for Fnatic to be sure. They control their own destiny with this win. They can move on to Kiev and of course the offline land, which is always a nice thing to do. And they have the draft going their way right now. The bans are going. You can see the Bristleback ban, the Nature's Prophet ban on one side, the OD and Vistage on the other side. So the first pick is going to come out. They're going to go for the Elder Titan again, which you saw in the first game of the day.
Yeah.
And certainly not a bad hero at all. And they played it with No Tail as a support, and he did really well with it, actually. So, but that is going to be the retry getting an Alchemist. It's a very strong hero, and some people argue that Unstable Concoction is kind of a broken ability. So good heroes for both right off the bat.
Yeah, interesting that the Alchemist actually makes it through. I think that's the first time today, if I'm correct. Was he banned out for all the rest of the games?
Yeah, he was banned every other time, so he gets through the first time too.
Yeah. Visage and OD and Nature's Prophet are the ones that we normally don't see really all that early banned. I mean, maybe the OD. Sometimes we see them, but Bristleback, no surprise there, removed. Don't want to deal with that one. Still have a Timbersaw in the pool as one of those sturdy heroes that we also often see removed early on. But we'll see what the retry goes for, because they have been running different strategies lately. I do still like the Enigma that the retry has picked up quite a lot of times, and successfully so. None of that PGG black hole, though PGG is the one running the Enigma, but he hits those black holes like no other. So I'm excited to see those, if those indeed happen. By the way, for the retry, they have got 15 games played, 8 wins, 7 losses, so they're not looking bad. They don't really have a chance to get dropped out of StarLadder. They're not going to go to Kiev. They still have to play their last game tomorrow. Am I saying that right? Because I don't see it. This could be actually their last game. That's... Oh no, they play against Flipside tomorrow as well. Everybody plays against Flipside still, but they play against Flipside tomorrow. So we'll see how they do there. But for now, this is their toughest opponent for today, for the rest of the remaining games, as they also select a Mirana for themselves.
Not a bad pickup at all. The Mirana is real nice. In conjunction with the Alchemist, Unstable Concoction is a long duration stun, so arrow shouldn't be too hard to hit. But Fnatic, they want to go for something that will win them this game, and for them, Io is that hero that can give them that victory. So I think this is obviously a smart pickup. They're comfortable with it. Now the question is, where do they go in conjunction with the Io? And Tiny seems to be the hero they love playing, but we may see something a little bit different this time around. Still, though, a good draft to start off for both teams.
Yeah, they've run the Storm with Io a lot, as we also mentioned in the previous game that we had with Fnatic, where they actually did pick up the Storm, with no Io in that case, but a Storm for Era, Io for No Tail, which is interesting, because No Tail, we already saw him play the Elder Titan earlier, so we'll see who gets to captain that hero. Lifestealer is the one that gets removed from Fnatic's side. Don't want to deal with that, and the retry is just going to ban out some Io combinations, like the Tiny, and we'll see which other one they don't want to face, like if it's going to be a CK or if it's maybe going to be the Storm. But then again, one of the two is going to go through, so I think Fnatic is still going to have a comfortable time with that combination, regardless of which one it will become.
Yeah, absolutely. And I actually hope it's not the CK. I don't know if you know this, but I'm not a big fan of that hero. I just don't like it that much. I think it could be okay, but it depends on when you have your ultimate up and your farm that you've got, and I don't know.
No, I
think
agree
especially
with you.
If you pick up a CK, then you just pick up an Abaddon right after that, because it doesn't matter how long the stun is, you just Aphotic shield it off.
Yeah.
They actually do the smart thing, like you mentioned. They play Storm Spirit a lot for Fnatic, so that's banned out. So Fnatic have to go for something either a bit unorthodox or something like a CK, or I mean, we'll see. There's a couple other options left. Obviously, Ursa is always good with an IO. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Maybe be surprised as the retry goes for the Nyx Assassin. Now that's a hero that can fulfill multiple roles, obviously, but for the retry, we've actually seen him played offlane a few times. So perhaps that's going to be something they want to run. They have been denied the Enigma, unfortunately. No black holes this game. And I mean, their entire lineup is so flexible. Alchemist, we've seen him mid, we've seen him support, carry, everything happens. Same thing goes for Mirana, same thing goes for Nyx Assassin, and I actually really like that in a draft, just to not have any clear laning, positioning, and all that stuff going on. That means that Fnatic has to really only focus on their own game, and can't really counter-pick anything at the moment. At all.
Yeah, they could take out things they don't like playing up against and just say, okay, I don't want to have to deal with that hero, and that's probably what they've been doing. I mean, within Lifestealer Band as well, it's kind of annoying to deal with, but yeah, you're right. This is a draft that is very, very, you know, it fills them a lot of roles if they wanted to for the retry. They can have it be their tri-lane with those 3 heroes. They can have Nyx Assassin off lane. They can do Alchemist mid lane. They can do a whole lot of stuff with this lineup. That's what I like about it. But Fnatic goes for the Rubik, and actually I like this because you can see a lot of decent spells. I mean, if you get on your hands on Unstable Concoction, you're in a good position. The Arrow is always a nice thing to steal. Nyx Assassin's Impale is always a good thing to steal. So Rubik's not a bad pickup here either. And that means with Io on the Rubik that Elder Titan is more likely going to be the offlane hero. Yeah. Probably not mid, but offlane I'd imagine is what they're going to do with it.
Yeah, Trixie will be allowed to punch people, and yeah, you're right, Hani is not really the Elder Titan player for Fnatic, and I don't really do like seeing him on different types of mids, things that can maybe make a bit more difference, but it also kind of depends on what they are expecting to see mid from the retry, and perhaps a bit more light will be shed on that very soon, as the retry is the one to go for a pick here. Interesting to note, like, I mean, indeed, the CK is still in, they don't secure that one yet. Are you expecting a CK? I mean, obviously you don't really like it all that much, but is this something like with the Storm banned out, the Tiny banned out, the Ursa not really too much picked up by Fnatic at all? The CK still, of course, run often by Era, but which heroes am I forgetting that can pair up good with that Io? Gyrocopter.
Gyro can work. I think that's okay. Any hero with a Sven works sometimes, but I wouldn't see it. I wouldn't expect to see that picked up at all. Heroes that have disables can work, but you don't necessarily need the disables. It just is nice to have them. Lina comes out for the retry, interestingly enough. So that's probably going to be Mirana, Alchemist, Lina, support, Nyx Assassin, all for mid. I think it could be a CK from Fnatic. I wouldn't be surprised. I just personally don't like it. But now that there's no real room for Nabadan, they could certainly pick it up and still be fine. And I don't know.
No room for Nabadan, you say? Because if Alchemist starts carrying, or Alchemist mid, and Mirana starts carrying, or Mirana mid, either of the two, Nyx Assassin offlane, Lina support, and Nabadan can still fit. I mean, so versatile.
True, but like that lineup, is that really what you want? You don't have a whole lot of teamfight potential when you think about it. It's just like you have a couple of stuns there, you have a lot of ganky potential, but the teamfight isn't really... I mean, I guess it's okay. You don't have a real mid here either. That would be fine.
That would be fun, too.
I wouldn't mind that.
I mean, if you do have, of course, the IO-CK lineup, the one thing that was, or used to be the case anyway, the thing that you did against that was just run a teamfight lineup so that, you know, you can't really relocate to get people out of good position because everybody would be mid or everybody would be at the same place and, you know, just teamfight, and then all you have to do is make sure you have a better teamfight than your opponent team, which is not the case yet because Elder Titan just dominates everything right now in terms of teamfight. I mean, it's not bad. Alchemist, Acid Spray, Moonlight Shadow, all kinds of things they have. Nyx Assassin, if he gets a good impale off, can definitely be considered a good teamfight thing. But yeah, I wouldn't mind then seeing a Tidehunter, then Tidehunter offlane or Tidehunter mid. It always still depends on what Fnatic picks up now, of course, as well, as they will reveal either their CK or their mid player, mid hero rather. Obviously, we know the mid player. There we go.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yep, that's the one I was forgetting.
That's the one that we've often seen, but I've not seen it on Fnatic, I've seen it often on Alliance.
Yeah, that's something that Loda loves to do with EGM.
Yeah.
They combo up so well with it, and it works really well, but it's a little bit of a niche pick. It can work in this scenario. It kind of counters the gank-heavy lineup of the retry, which is nice. I think that the silence is going to be really huge against the Mirana especially, so she can't leap away. Alchemist, so he can't stun, is always nice to have, because he'll just charge that up, and then he gets smokescreen, and you're in trouble. Alina will be nice to have as well, because then she can't get her Laguna Blade off, plus the damage Riki can do to all these squishy heroes is pretty obscene. Alchemist is the only real tanky one, and they just don't like fun, apparently. Retry doesn't like to watch fun games, so whatever.
Yeah, so they also ban out the Invoker, indeed. Yeah. I mean, I was actually going to say that would still be a decent pickup. It gets them even more teamfight potential, and the combinations are quite decent as well, but no can't do. We still have, however, a lot of good heroes for mid in the pool. And I'm talking about heroes... Well, I just thought about one, but I wasn't going to say also Shadow Fiend. But I actually mean Dragon Knight. That's the one. I was expected to see a Dragon Knight still for Fnatic.
10 seconds remaining.
Some
Yeah, that's
sturdy
good.
push, because they kind of lack push.
And they need something to combo up really on, because Riki can do work, you know, once he hits level 6, but, you know, I think
Reserve time.
they need something else, and Teamfight helps there because they have the Breathe Fire in conjunction with Elder Titan, the damage they have there, and push like you talked about. I wouldn't mind seeing a Dragon Knight. Something else they can do mid, they can go for another, you know, more Teamfight oriented kind of hero for their mid laner, and so that's something like maybe a Puck could work here, just to keep everybody right in where they want him, so Riki can take them down rather quickly. Could be nice. Obviously, they don't have a chance to get a Storm Spirit that's banned out.
10 seconds remaining.
And the Clockwork is still available, mind you, but I don't see either team picking that up. They don't really have room for it.
I have to say, both teams use a lot of their time. Wow, I was not expecting that one at all.
It's a minus armor strat, again,
With
sort
one.
of.
Oh, no, two, yeah.
Well,
Alchemist as
acid
well.
spray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the early Roshan for the retry? Which hero are you then expecting mid?
Alchemist, I think.
Because it
And then
could
you do
very well
Assassin
be
off lane. Oh wait, no, that's not gonna work. No.
aggressive
Hold
tri
on.
lane with the Mirana solo safe. Aggressive tri lane with the StarLadder, Nyx and Lina, and then Alchemist mid. Or
Yes, that
something
sounds
like
more
that?
likely.
And
Yeah,
an
I'd
aggressive
say
tri
that's
lane
right.
against a Riki and an Io is very decent because, I mean, they've got escape mechanisms, but they don't need to kill stuff. All they need to do is slow down Riki, slow down Io, and if they have an aggressive tri lane and they get some farm on the StarLadder without killing, then and they still get their job done by just denying farm, then that would still be decent. They go for the puck for Fnatic, so that's
Nice.
good. Oh, I almost forgot about that one. For the puck for
Called it.
Fnatic. Yeah, that is true. And, I mean, that's strong. It's solid. And also a decent one up against Alchemist. However, it looks like we're going to have a Lina mid. No. Yes.
That works too.
Because Yoki
That's
is normally
fine.
the mid player. That's... I would really love that, actually. And Eid is normally the support player, and he's picked up the Mirana.
This Lena, though, is going to have actually kind of a rough time. Unless he hits Dragon Slaves, Hani's going to be... He's got to be on point with his phase shift and the Dragon Slaves and whatever he casts. So Yoki's going to have to try to hit those as much as possible. And, I mean, his right clicks aren't really going to be that effective unless he wants to go for Fiery Solar Land, which he probably could. I wouldn't be too surprised if he did, but I'd rather see him just go for his ability so that he can help out in ganking. And, I don't know, this is going to be an interesting game because... You know, Riki Io is not a, you know, like confirmed win. It's still difficult to pull off. It's not one of those things where everyone does it right now. It's still something that's a little bit of a niche draft pick. So, yeah. But on the other side, the same thing can be said of, you know, Lina and, of course, like Slaughters. So, we'll see. This is going to be a good game.
I think so too, and I think people kind of need to be reminded that indeed this is an important match for Fnatic. They need to win this one, and then hope that Na'Vi wins tomorrow as well, in which case there's not going to be a three-way tie. But if they win this, their chances to go to Kiev, they've done everything. And, well, they can't afford to lose it. It's just that simple. The retry has got a decent lineup, and they seem to be having a plan as well, which I really like. And looks like we are going to have a bit of a switcheroo going on, because now Cliff is playing the Lina, who will be support. Let's take a look at who's playing what. So the retry, they will be on the dire side for this game. They've got Nubik playing the Mirana. Nubik normally is the carry role player, so we'll be taking on a farming heavy role here on the Mirana. Cliff will be supporting on the Lina, and Alchemist also supporting, played by Eid. So they switched up their players, and hopefully for Fnatic they did see that one. As we have got Yoki taking on the Nyx Assassin, meaning that Nyx will be the one to be mid. And on the safe lane, right now, it is PGG who normally plays the off lane, but PGG will be on the StarLadder on the top lane, safe lane, by himself. Not an easy matchup up against an Elder Titan, but we'll see how he does there, as I think our main focus is going to be on this aggressive tri lane.
Yeah, and on the side of Fnatic, we get a little bit of a pause real quick. There's actually somebody who's not in game yet. It looks like it is Trixie, who seems to be AFK or something along those lines. For Fnatica, we have No Tail. He'll be on the Io, looking at Era on the Riki down here in the bottom lane as well. Fly will be on the Rubik here to support down to this defensive try. Hani will be on the mid puck, and then to round it all out, we will have the off lane Elder Titan played by Trixie. I almost forgot about it there, but got it. Good.
And I wrote a question mark in the base, but it doesn't show up apart from on the minimap. That's a shame. I can do that. Thank you. Look what
Can you see that? My
Yes, I
geometry's
can.
all messed up, so it looks like a really weird question mark.
I can't draw question marks. Wait a second.
That's pretty good. That's a good one.
That's a good one. I have to say, I am a left-handed person and my mouse is in the right hand, so like that cost me a lot of effort right there.
Well,
Just want to point that out.
you got to become ambidextrous then.
What's that?
You can use your both hands
30 seconds.
for like writing and stuff. I don't know. That's
That is true, because at
ambidextrous.
some point I was able to choose like which hand do you feel most comfortable writing in, because I could write with both. But it was
Well,
left.
then you were ambidextrous. That's pretty impressive. That's hard to do.
Well, yeah, obviously it fell off quite fast once I started writing only left. But I do the rest with right, as obviously my mouse is right-handed.
So, if you look at what Yoki got pulled through Tango, so he's going to try to go for a very, very fast bottle because he's only got two GG branches. Hani, on the other hand, he decided just to go for a standard build and probably just build into a null talisman and then into his bottle, or vice versa, just to get a little bit extra damage. Mana Burn is going to be used to spam up from Yoki pretty much at the start of the lane, so Hani is going to just take that and he'll have to deal with it, but it shouldn't be that big of an issue. It's not like he's facing up against an OD who has the biggest, like one of the biggest mana pools, but still Hani should be in. Maybe be a little bit careful. He's got Phase Shift though, and yep, there it goes. Mana Burn spammed early on. It's still got a 30-second cooldown, however.
Well, we'll see how Yoki does here, because he does need those last hits to, of course, get that bottle going, and we'll see if he can get that fast enough. We have an Invis room, by the way, for Eid. Now, there are some nice observers standing here on the bottom lane. Looks like Fnatic was aware that there was going to be an aggressive tri lane, and it is so funny that both teams have the exact same observer wards and on these exact same locations. They'll place one, actually. So, like, one sentry placed. But, like, both observers are on the same place. Even the ones at the river. I really am enjoying that fact right now.
Yeah, those are good observer wards to place too, just to have vision, of course, in the jungle right near the lane, just to make sure you don't see any ganks coming through, or you catch out any ganks and you don't get caught out of position. So, smart placement coming up from both teams.
Yeah, and of course the thing is, on the aggressive tri lane of the retry, I already mentioned that they don't need to kill people necessarily as long as they shut down Era. But if they want to initiate, then they have to, of course, initiate actually with the Alchemist, because he's got the only solid disable, as the Sentry Ward does scout out both the wards here. That's really nice of them. But, like, it's very obvious when Alchemist charge up his stun, because you hear that sound, of course, going through. So I'm wondering if they can actually make things happen here, unless he's gonna do the Mineski thing. Oh, like they both counter their observers. I wonder if Cliff is gonna find the observer there as well. Still, I think so. He's already moving that way. That's funny. Well, nobody has observers anymore. Things are even in the world.
The map is dark.
Eid. Era is actually going for him. The orbs. They actually charge for Mirana right now. He does have a leap. Stun comes out upon 2. Leap. There we go. Nubik should be able to get away. There's no more balls coming out from No-Tail, and they force people back. But that was pretty scary right there. For the retry, more so than for Fnatic. And that was, of course, Fnatic went because they knew that Alina wasn't there.
Exactly, and that's what they needed to do. They needed to punish when you have 2 heroes in lane rather than 3, and they can be aggressive, but they can also be very defensive here, because like you mentioned, there's only one, setup disable, and that's unstable concoction, and if you're charging that, there's a good chance Arrow or No-Tail can either just jump away, either through Blink Strike or Tether, or someone that's going to get telekinesis, which is what Fly's here for. So I like the fact that this defensive tri-lane should be doing okay here, and they're getting last hits as well. It's actually Nubik, though, getting 9 last hits instead of course, Arrow sitting at 8. So it's pretty even so far. The first kill on this lane is going to be determinative of who's going to have a better time, obviously. Up in the top lane, Trixie has 7 last hits. He's just trying to get some levels so he can get more Astral Spirit charges, or levels so that do more damage to PGG. And obviously he'll want that as much as possible. He's actually stacking up, not even stacking, just taking his camp over here. But other than that, nothing going on right now.
Yeah, in the mid lane, I mean, I have to say, this Nyx Assassin is doing okay. He's got some nice rune control, slightly behind on experience, but he has a bottle, so he's doing okay-ish. And that's all he's here for overall. Wait a second. Alchemist, he's already thrown out his stun. Apparently we missed that. Went on Fly, but Fly lived to tell the tale, so it wasn't that big of a deal. In the meantime, Ricky, though, goes for Cliff, but also can't do that. Nubik still has an arrow again in a second. We'll see if he's gonna use it, as he should be careful here, because Era is coming to the side again. Lucky for him, Era is still visible.
Arrow's just trying to scare him off and just trying to get him off of the supports. And actually, if that arrow had hit, which Nubik threw out, there probably would have been a kill up on the Rubik. Sadly, didn't go. The bottles are coming out right now. You can see No-Tail just picked up his, which means that he's got regen potential with him and, of course, his team, whoever he's tethering. 4-minute rune is going to be top, and it looks like Hani should get that, not even a problem. Yuki can try to impale, but Yeah, that's one of the best routes to get early on.
Radiant's middle tower
Just to make sure that you have the potential to spam out your abilities and things of that nature. So, top lane, PGG is actually taking a lot of damage. That courier is...
He is getting chased in the wrong direction as well. He's now going to pop the haste, but that's only going to hurt him more if Trixie starts punching him, and that's going to be... Oh, crush! Just in time, and he should be able to make it out alive, unless there's going to be a spirit. No mana. He has bottle charges, though.
It's too late, though. It just came off cooldown.
Yeah,
and so
PGG
PGG's already too far away.
He has his own bottle as well. Everybody's getting bottles. Oh, bottom lane in the meantime. Spirits are flying. They want to get Nubik. Eid is protecting him from the spirits, though. So that's going to keep him up. That was close as well. Again, and this time, again, close for the retry rather than for Fnatic, who is, of course, here on the defensive trail lane. But Era has not really slowed down all too much. He's actually further ahead in terms of last hits compared to Nubik. 15 last hits for Era, while Nubik is sitting on 13. The difference is not that big, but still a difference, as we are going to see PGG again in trouble, and Trixie just continue pushing. He's gonna try for this one. He's gonna try to punch him to death. Let's see, there's gonna be another crush. And actually, with those creeps around, let's be careful there, Trixie. He doesn't have any bottle charges anymore either now, so...
Yeah, he's gonna be careful. But I want to talk about this aggressive trailing down bottom, because I feel like this Lina pick's not doing a whole lot. She hasn't done enough. I mean, an Unstable Concoction's been thrown a couple times, which is fine, but Lina's really not adding much to this lane. You want nuke damage, you're getting it from Dragon Save. It is 170 now, which is a bit against supports that are rather squishy top lane.
Wait a second, PGG, that's your first blood. Hani rotating top. So all that needed to be done. Hani doesn't even get an assist, or Trixie doesn't even get an assist, and there is an alchemist there, and he's looking for a stun. He's not going to find it anymore on the other Titan. He will find it on Hani, though, but that's not going to be resulting into a kill. And I don't think he would have been able to get the kill on Trixie either, because Trixie, of course, being level 7, fairly tanky, versus an alchemist level 2 with an unstable concoction level 1.
Yeah, and this is a problem for the Reach right now. They're not getting any levels of supports. They're roaming heroes around, which is okay, but they're getting more done on the bottom than the Retry are. Fnatic are getting more done on the bottom than Retry are. Era's getting, decent farm. He's getting more farm than Mirana. I mean, Lita's not doing really anything. She is sitting at level 3, but just sitting and, of course, leeching experience is really all she's doing at this point. Whereas Fly and No Tail, they do need levels of their own, but at least they're stopping any sort of aggression from an aggressive tri lane. So it looks like Retry have already just kind of given up on this tri lane down bottom. Eid is roaming back down there, surprisingly enough. But now they've wasted time here and experience, so I'm surprised that they decided to send him there.
I mean, Eid walked to top, didn't get anything done there, and then he walked back bottom, and what's he gonna do here? Nothing either. And the thing is, for the retry, I mean, they've already had Hani rotating once on the other side and being successful with getting first blood. They need that Nyx Assassin to start paying off soon, because otherwise they're losing ground very fast. As you mentioned, bottom lane is not won by the retry, top lane is not won by the retry, mid lane not won by the retry, and then, you need something to get you back on top. Maybe they can get the kill on Trixie. PGG looking for a crush. He has it again, but No-Tail actually came in. Is he gonna be in time? The hit is gonna be giving a kill to PGG. It's gonna go on to No-Tail. No-Tail level 3. He has to be careful. One more bash. Where's those bashes? No, Hani comes in. Denied. Gets another kill up on the StarLadder. Actually, last hit went to creeps, but good rotation nonetheless. He wasn't lucky with bashes at all. It's very sad when that happens. But that's the second rotation of Hani. Second successful rotation for Hani, as Yoki finally gets himself some mana boots and might be rotating as well.
It's a good thing Hani rotated up there, because if he didn't, that's going to be a double kill for PGG, and then it would have been really bad. Honestly, already, it's pretty good for PGG, because that's a solo experience kill that he got on Trixie, and it's a decent amount of gold as well. So the retry at least getting something out of that top lane now. Down bottom, Nyx Assassin is here. He's impels some of these creeps. I don't know if they see him. They had that ward, so...
Yeah, they were their creeps, so they were their creeps. They should have seen that. As Eid looks for a stun, but... Oh, the vision is actually there. Nope, never mind. Blinks right forward. Era is trying to dodge an arrow that is already shot. He gets... there we go. Amplified damage. Let's see how far they can chase him down. This is just chasing arrows.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's IO dead on the backside of the fight. Ricky gets picked up. Alchemist still goes down. That's on the side of the retry themselves, as that was actually Rubik that zapped him. That was Fly making that happen, and they actually have found themselves back. Oh, crushed. Too early. Arrow will fly, but No-Tail, sorry, Hani rather, dodges it, so he won't be able to get anything there. And with that rotation, PGG, of course, he helps killing off the Ricky, which is great, but he did give more space to Trixie, who took down the tier 1 tower top.
Not worth it. It was like 2 for... First of all, they treated an Alchemist away, so they got a kill. So it wasn't like they got 2 kills and no deaths. They lost a hero. Plus they lost their tier 1 tower top, which gives Trixie more room to farm. It gives him plenty more farm in terms of gold. So I don't think that was really worth it. Yeah, and they committed 5 main heroes down bottom, which means not that much experience, and Eid is now in trouble.
Yeah, in comes Nubik and Cliff. Let's see if they can make something happen. Where's that Light Strike Array? Not cast it just yet. Now he gets it up on No-Tail. Looks like Eid will still get picked up though. Hani coming in at the right time. The orb. Oh, the Dream Coil up on 2. TP out from Cliff, but that's not gonna happen. That's another kill. More kills going the way of the retry. Everybody dies. In the meantime, StarLadder dies as well, which is on the top lane. That was a solo kill for Trixie. And, I mean, that's just a retry wiped out. Completely.
Yeah, that's not really good at all, and that just turns the game on its head. And you see this a lot of the time with very high tier teams, including Fnatic. They like to do this. They just bring their mid hero in and just turn things around and coordinate everything through their mid hero, because that is going to be the game changer in most games, in most Dota games, especially just really any game. It doesn't have to be professional. So the fact that Hani was able to get in there, have a nice Dream Call on it too, turns things around. They should have known that was coming. So
yeah, at least Yoki is gonna. Oh, he didn't get the Vendetta hit, but the arrow will help out. That's a kill. Nice arrow from Nubik as well. Ricky is still around there. He is finally level 6, so he is invisible. No detection coming out from the retry just yet. There is one smoke up on, or sorry, dust up on the Eid. That's nice, but well, we'll see. They don't really have that killing potential just yet. Need something amazing to set up with. Can't really find that yet. Next assassin needs to be maybe as more involved. They go for Eid again as well. Nubik around there apparently does not matter for them. He hits still an arrow up an arrow, but it doesn't matter. Starstorm actually, he's gonna get No-Tail and still support for a support in the end, which is more important for Nubik than it was for the Ricky. Obviously, the IO got the kill there, and it was shared experience, while Mirana got the kill and solo experience. That's actually a pretty decent thing for the retry. I mean, yeah, they lost an Alchemist. They still will lose PGG on the top lane with the solos teaming up against him, which is of course not good, but the bottom lane exchange, I don't think it was that bad.
Yeah, and they wouldn't have dove there if there was like obviously a tier 1 tower for them, but that's not existent, so they get an easy kill. Trixie, of course, the damage through Astral, didn't have to use that. Oh, relocate down bot.
Yeah, let's see, they go for Nubik. Spirits will hit, the leap away is still there, but you're leaping into a tower. That's gonna be Puck with the kill, was there as well. 10 for 5, and there's nowhere on the map that they're getting anything in return, and you now see indeed the supports trying to get some extra levels, because a failed aggressive tri-lane is reason to be under-leveled on all sorts accounts, and Mirana level 7 is not bad, but it's still kind of under-leveled compared to her counterparts.
It really is, and it really comes down to that aggressive tri-lane just not doing much early on in this game. They didn't get any kills, they didn't make any room, they didn't stop Air from farming, so anything they wanted to try to do, especially up against an IO who's not the best laner in the world, it just wasn't accomplished, and I think part of it was the Lina pickup, and I go back to that. They are going to try to gank Trixie, and he should go down there sprinting at him, Slithering is going to hit, so right click should be enough, plus they have the Light Strike Array. Too much damage to deal with, so Trixie
yeah,
falls.
now they see Fly as well, they might be trying to go for him. His Vendetta has run out. He's gonna lift up Yoki, he's still there. Comes the amplified damage, the Impale will hit still. Whoa, that's on the edge, to be honest. No-Tail's gonna try to save his life, but it's too late. No-Tail himself can't go anywhere either, just came in to die. That's a brilliant turnaround for the retry, who are fighting back as much as they can. They will still lose someone on the other side of the map, though, which seems to be a running theme. They lose the Mirana.
Still, I mean, Fnatic did lose 3 heroes there when they really didn't need to. That was just Fly getting caught in a position and No-Tail trying to help him, but in the end dying. The good thing is Puck now has his Blink Dagger, so he's going to be able to set up even more ganks and, of course, team fights. PGG really needs one of his own. He's trying to save up for it. It looks like he's got 1,000 gold unless he wants to go for something else. Alchemist has got way out of position. Hani's just running at it.
Yeah, and PGG, where's that crush, dude? Standing around, only amplifying damage and can't really do much. That's an Alchemist dead. Solo kill for Hani. Showing off his blink. By the way, Nyx Assassin also has his blink ready, so we'll see what kind of impact that will have on the retry. As PGG looks to prepare for something, but he is gonna be... yeah, he's gonna be brought down. Moonlight Shadow is not gonna keep him up, even Sentry Ward placed. 2 Sentry Wards placed even, just to be sure. They get an Observer to boot, and that's a successful relocate.
Yeah, that's just easy. Nothing too crazy there, just catch PGG out of his position. Speaking of catching out of position, that's gonna be Trixie.
Yeah, nice kill. Overextension from that Trixie, I mean. Too many people around there still. PGG roaming around like that should have given away that there were probably more people coming, that they were preparing for a fight, but oh well. One thing, I mean, Fnatic has been getting a lot of kills, obviously, but they haven't really taken that many towers off the back of those, as they will have Fly actually almost taken down. Yep, there we go. Nick Assassin with the kill, and Eat will end up stunning himself. In the meantime, on the bottom lane, though, they tried to push a bit. They are now going for PGG, who's gonna get picked up. I mean, he at some point had money for treads. I would have really liked him to see pick those up. Maybe they can at least get themselves some tower gold, get some extra.
Yeah, they're gonna trade towers. There's gonna be fortifications. There's the TP in coming from Trixie just to try to push this back, and Ash will do the job there. He's gonna stop and get Yoki. No, just misses. But it's a tier 1 for a tier 1 in the end.
Yeah. Tier 1 bottom will get dropped as well, so nicely done for Fnatic. I mean, yeah, they also got a StarLadder kill, and they don't lose anybody while their own tower gets taken down. Still lose a tower, though, which is something that they normally are not too happy about. Normally a team that would defend all their towers if they can. Oh, Nubik. Careful there. Era sees him. They want to go for this. They're already coming in. Io will be there soon. Smoke. Slow. Leap away. One more spirit will hit. Boom, you're dead. Io with the kill. Very clean kill, and they will also see, we'll find Yoki here. Oh, that impaled! Brilliantly done. That's a crush for StarLadder. Gets the kill, gets lifted while he speed it though. As Fly tries to run together with no-till. PGG looking for the crush, but he gets crushed instead, and Fly has a better crush than the StarLadder because he doesn't get slowed, or he doesn't have that cast point, as that's gonna be the real crush right there. PGG double kill, and no-till will make it out alive. I do like the crush on the Rubik.
Yeah, a lot of the spells that you can get on the Rubik don't have that animation. Ice Path comes to mind when you think about it as well. So it's really just a nice ability. Look at this.
Ooh, look at Hani. Yoki is going to be dead first. Hani is still looking for more. PGG stunned up. In comes an Earthcrack as well, and Hani will be crushed, but it doesn't matter. PGG will be taken down by a creep? No. Orb misses. PGG lives. He lives. He lives indeed. Can they take someone off the back of this? PGG, you better run faster. Laguna Blade, Trixie will get picked up there. Nicely done, Cliff. As Hani is still looking for the StarLadder, and actually he's still there. Why didn't he run further? Where's the blink? And now he runs.
It's on cooldown.
That's too scary to be honest. But
they should have got a lot more out of that. Like 3 or 4 kills.
That was so close too. I mean, really. PGG. Living again. He's not even doing that well on that worth, but he's making a lot of things happen here. And he finally picked up treads and a bracer, so he's a lot more sturdy than he was before. Kind of forgo on the blink dagger, of course, with that one.
Yeah.
Oh well.
And that means he's got a sprint to initiate, which means he takes more damage going into the fight, which is, you know, it's gonna suck. But I think I mean, his only job is really to make sure he's got the amplified damage before a fight breaks out, and then crush somebody or crush a couple of people when he finds a good initiation. So it's gonna be tough to do that because the counter initiation or the initiation from Hani is gonna be there first. Plus relocate. So this is a game that the Retry have to be really strong in the counter initiation with Slither and Crush. So for right now, though, they're playing well. They're getting back into the game. It's 16-13. They haven't been snowballed out of control. They're still down 5,000 gold and almost 2,500 experience. Yoki's doing the right job of vendettaing, and he's actually almost it's almost gonna run out here, but he's gonna find Fly, and the Fly should fall here. Yep, that's easy.
Blink TP out, very safe, very secure. Can't stop that one. I am kind of surprised. I mean, in this kind of game where there's 2 Invis heroes, I'm surprised by that there's... Oh, wait a second. Relocate coming in mid. On the Dream Coil comes in first. They want to take down Eden Cliff. Let's see how far they get. Eden already charging up the stun. That is already Ricky dead. Cliff will still take a dive here as the Elder Titan gets a kill, but Hani gets forced out and will actually get picked up by PGG. They look for more. The arrow will miss Trixie by a hair, but it doesn't matter. He tries to stomp. It actually hits upon 2. Well, Nubik, he actually sends his senses to No-Tail, who gets helped by Neutral. Thank you, Neutral. Go for Trixie instead. Where's that Starstorm? He has it again. No-Tail trying to run away. Is Nubik gonna send an arrow? He is. Let's see if it hits. Oh, as close. Tether to the other side. No-Tail should be able to make it out alive, but they do get 3 and only lose their Lina for that one. That is a pretty big fight for the retry, where the relocate was used and the initiation came 100% from Fnatic, but they lost that fight.
Hold on, my sound's breaking. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. While you fix it, we're gonna see the retry take down the Roshan, as looks like that's gonna be an easy job. I mean, we already mentioned the minus armor that they had with the amplified damage, with the acid spray, of course, as well. They do kind of give away that they're doing this, but with so many people dead, they can't really do anything against it. Mirana with the Aegis.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Still a bottom tower tonight, something nice for Fnatic, but they still lost a tower. Towers are now even in terms of numbers at least. Tier 1
Alright,
top
I think I'm back.
standing. Welcome back.
Sorry, I hate my sound on my computer. It's very frustrating.
It happens. Just like I hate my Skype on my computer, but I still have to have it.
So, that was a bit of a bad fight for Fnatic, just to say the least. They're still okay, but that actually put the gold graph pretty much at even here. And this is a game they have to win, so...
this is scary.
This is becoming bad. Yeah, that's a Blink Dagger on Alchemist now, so any trouble he had initiating it earlier is going to be fine. Personally, I would like to see a medallion on him, but they already have the amplified damage, so I suppose it's not really necessary. Plus, it's a Blink Dagger on StarLadder, which we were just talking about not too long ago. We're saying, is he going to be able to get that? He's going to have to sprint in and initiate. Now he doesn't have to worry about that. He just has to worry about getting in, slithering, crushing when necessary, and making sure he has all the amplified damage up. On the other side, Fnatic, they're behind a little bit. You can see SMY is going to be done for Ricky. He's not going for a Diffusive Blade, which is questionable. Day got up on Puck, which you see a lot. That'll be good against some of these squishier heroes, but still, this is going to be a tough game, I think, for Fnatic.
Yeah, they're gonna try to take down Yoki. They burst him down as nice enough, but in comes the Sun from the Alchemist up onto the Crush. Hits as well, but the Mechanism comes in, and PGG is the one in trouble with the Earth Split coming in as well. Arrow will hit up on Fly, but no follow-up to come. And it looks like Fnatic got this one under control. The Moonlight Shadow will still try to let Nubik escape. The Dream Coil misses because of that Invis. And it looks like they only get 2. They still lose their Rubik, but it doesn't matter. They get the fight going their way. Or do they? Or do they actually? Going for no till the Arrow will get the kill. They still get the Aegis out of that one, as Khalif has already... Ha! Ghost Scepter. Life Strike Array will not hit. Laguna Blade will still hit on the Ricky, as Khalif looks to be making it out alive. Nubik still in this. Starstorm already used. Goes for Era now, who gets stunned up, gets killed off as well. Triple kill for Nubik. And now it gets turned around. I started the fight. I started saying, oh, Trixie arrowed! That's gonna be another kill going the way of the retry. I started saying that Fnatic was gonna win this fight. But they don't. They overextend. They went in too far. They should have backed off earlier. Should have been happy with the kills that they got, but no. And they lose 4 heroes in total. The only one that makes it out alive is the Puck, is Hani. I mean, that was an immense turnaround for the retry. Again.
It really was, and that's just Nubik using his Aegis smartly. The Chemical Rage getting E'd back to full and then jumping in with an Unstable and throwing it at the last second, killing No Tail, which any healing and of course overcharge ability is gone. Because he's got the bottle, he's got the You're in Charge, that helps out your team a lot. And of course, the Alchemist or the Elder Titan had the mech, he used it a little earlier, but he needs to stay alive in those fights. He did go down at the end, obviously, so it's not that big of a deal. But Fnatic are starting to feel very, very uncomfortable. If you're in this game and you have to win this game, I'd imagine that you're sweating a little bit, and you have to understand, like, you need to get it turned around, and you got to do something quick.
Yeah, and at this point also, I mean, that was a fight, as you mentioned. Elder Titan had a mech. There's no mech on the side of the retry, and we saw the help that mech gave. I mean, that initiation, the crush, the blinking crush from StarLadder was really good. A lot of damage done, but, as your voice apparently dropped in Dota TV, but as you pointed out, that mech, they healed it up again. It's great, but after that, the retry, they could do everything they wanted. Imagine if the retry would have had that mech as well. I mean, they don't have one. They don't also have one that is someone that's building it, actually, which is maybe slightly questionable, but hey, it's working out for them, so I don't blame them for it. Fnatic knows that something needs to change. They are going to try and smoke up, see if they can make something happen with that, because they can't lose more ground. They had the game in favor for them by quite far, and all of a sudden, back to the 0 line on the case of the gold graph, while the experience graph is now almost 7k experience in favor of the retry, which is pretty impressive.
The retry should know something's going on right now. The fact that they haven't backed off is pretty interesting. They have Moonlight Shadow, so at least there's something to maybe have an escape mechanism. Hopefully there's the gem or at least something envisioned here.
Yeah, Nubik, Dream Coil, he will still get picked up. It's a mega kill streak, pretty decent. Rubik the one to get it though, maybe not as decent, 700 gold for him. I mean, 5-man smoke, great. But they got only one Mirana, and on the top lane, which is the lane that they already have taken down a tier 1 tower, can't really get that one in return. Perhaps they still finally can get the tier 1 mid, but we'll see if that is the one to happen, as well, they are rotating there, but as is the retry. Might not fight with Mirana, but we'll see if they can make something happen here. Oh, wow, PGG, he's already just jumping right in there. Get the amplified damage up. The silence is there though. PGG needs that BKB, doesn't have it yet. 4 step forward is not enough. Nyx Assassin will go down, and PGG rushes himself out of there. Can't really fight on that. As Alchemist just suicided. He actually suicided, but he just ran in to die as well, which is, you know, double suicide, I guess. That was a bit of a throw movement from the retry, if you ask me.
I agree with you. There's no reason for them to fight. They didn't have the Mirana. They decided to run at the mid for whatever reason, and they should have known all 5 were there. That was kind of a foolish, stupid play.
Yeah.
PGG got blown the F up, and so did Alchemist, so that was dumb, I think. They had this game in a position where they could easily win this one, and they're just making the wrong plays.
Oh, they go again. Nubik has to be careful. It gets blown up before anything else. Nice Strikery coming out, not really doing that much yet. Because that is another hero picked up, and Fnatic apparently stopped playing nice. This is our game, they say, and I mean, this is a game that they need to win, so I don't blame them for being as on point as they are right now, but they are not giving an inch to the retry anymore. At least that's not their aim. We'll see if the retry can recuperate, because rather than it being nice play for Fnatic, I do kind of feel that the retry is not really as on point, and that is Moonlight Shadow from the Rubik. To initiate on Fnatic, to initiate on the retry from Fnatic. We'll see if they won't be able to find anybody. Never mind that.
And it looks like the retry either knew about it or just playing very cautiously, which doesn't really fit their MO. So I think that maybe they somehow understood that they had Moonlight Shadow, and they don't see him anywhere on the map, so they assume that they're probably, you know, invis or something like that. But this is problematic for the retry because there was no reason for them to, you know, defend at the tier 2 tower. I don't think they had everybody up, so they just decided to sit there, and then all of a sudden they could jump because, you know, there's an aggressive team on Fnatic's side, and so that's the second time Mirana goes down in about like a 2-minute span. The Mirana still is very farmed, but this is going to become a situation where it's going to be back and forth action. And I think Fnatic are in a good position now because once they get the BKB on Riki, then they can really start fighting, and he can really start, you know, doing work in team fights. Plus, there's a Dagon level 3 on Puck that he just bought.
Did you just see what PGG wrote in the thing and the minimap?
No, would be right.
It was Fnatic, and then there were 3 letters. One that was looked like wigwam. Is that an English word? Like the Indian tent? Just a triangle without
wigwam?
line? Wigwam?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And the rest was UX, so it looked like aux, or maybe that's Russian for sucks. It was like kind of bad mannered.
I think it was sucks. I think PG, because he said something in all chat after they won that fight mid not too long ago.
Rashka.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know either. I'd like to know it because it does sound kind of awkward. Like
chat.
Kind of good. Yeah, chat.
You're on it.
Help us. Mama Rushka. What does it mean? As we do have everybody of the retry sitting on top, looking to take down the tier 1 tower. Some extra gold would be nice. They are a tower behind right now. 2 towers behind, actually, to be exact. Do we have any new items yet? They really need some BKBs, to be honest.
I think everybody needs BKBs,
Yeah.
but looks like Trixie's building one of his own. There's a Vlad's up as well. I don't know if you talked about that already. 4 stuff on Yoki, which is nice, and that's about it in terms of new items. I think that's it anyway.
Vlad's on no-till is a pretty nice item to have. He has his relocate up as well, so his hangout era, if they see someone out of position, they will go Moonlight Shadow once again used. But I think that's just the last one before the spell disappears. Yeah, it is. So they had to use it if they wanted to use it again. PGG might be actually called out here, though. We'll see. Yeah, hello. Moonlight Shadow successful, I say.
That's a nice little pickup. That's his BKB right there. He actually had it before he initiated, but it's nice to pick it up now, so... That's No-Tail grabbing the kill. He's down for 40 some odd seconds. There's a tier 2 top, a tier 2 bottom. Tier 2 top is very low, actually. Bottom one hasn't really been touched, so... Roshan is, however, up, and that's where they should really contest next. I think that if you want to win this game, I think you have to get the Aegis, because you saw how much work Nubik did with it last time around.
Yeah.
I think Fnatic know that that's important, so they're going to look for a pick-off before they go into the Roche pit. We'll see which way they go. It looks like they're just going to go where they have vision, which is really smart. They should be able to get this kill on Yoki pretty easily.
Yep, Blink, Silence, Dagon. You're dead. Okay, that happened, and Spike Carapace, I mean, it might have been able to help him, but that level 3 Dagon? There's no way. And now with... Actually, no, they should go to Roshan still, to be honest. Because Rubik is actually up. Actually, they're going to try and pick up Nubik right here. Have to be careful. Blink strike forward. Running into the hands of more Fnatic players, though, as Nubik will try to go for the only way out for him. Moonlight Shadow gets used, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. PGG might stay alive. It looks like it is. Looks like it will be enough. Everybody of Fnatic is still here, though, and they already used their mechanism. Sentry Ward goes down. PGG looking for that amplified damage, perhaps some more. Finds himself with no tail. Now in the, on the... Well, still able to crush Era. That's nice. Eid will end up stunning himself by the looks of it. They try to run. And wisely so, to be honest. Oh, Eid. Still in trouble. Still gonna get picked up. But at least Era gets himself amplified damage. That's something that PGG gets back. But PGG himself will go down as well. Dagon, you're dead. Why didn't they back up faster? Why did he hang around? Nubik will be able to run away, but they're already in their fountain. They're already not in their fountain. They're in their base. They're getting picked up left and right. IO, overextension. I mean, they haven't even taken down a tier 2 just yet. As Yoki comes in with the Vendetta. Has to be careful because there's that sentry ward standing right there. That was awkward play from No-Tail, but also awkward play from the Retry.
It was really awkward play. It was just an awkward scenario. They were just like, do we want to do this? Do we not want to do this? You guys can go. No, please, we insist. You can kill us. It's fine. It's just not the most, like, smooth engagement in the entire world. But they grab a kill. I'm surprised Fnatic didn't back off to try to grab this Roshan. But I think they want to take that tier 2 tower down mid before they do. Make sure that's the last outer tower in that vicinity that, you know, obviously they can deal with in terms of contesting the Roshan. According to some people in chat, apparently this sounds right. When he said Mama Rashka, I think that's Mother Russia. That makes sense to me.
Oh yeah.
So, I don't know. He probably just wrote Fnatic sucks on the minimap because he's PGG and he's the epitome of manner.
Yeah. Sleeping late on TI2 qualifiers, nope. Or 2 or 2 group stages, no problem. That's PGG style right there. Well, we'll see. Looks like Fnatic has... I really thought they were going to get that tower, but they kind of were a bit too careful, I guess. As the arrow will just scout out. Both teams, of course, want to get that Roshan, want to try and go for this, but also don't want to be the first one to start it, because obviously you'll be in a tough position if you are going to try and start it. I mean, with the minus armor of the retry, the Roshan will die very fast once they actually get the time on that, but... Looks like they're not going to get that much time on it, and on top of that, oh, Esper just disappeared, so I didn't see anybody on the high ground, I believe.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
This is team Ancient stacking right now for the retry, and they will use their Moonlight Shadow. This is problematic. If Fnatic get caught out here, this could turn very badly for them. They've got to be very careful here in the next coming moment.
Yeah. An orb will fly out, it won't hit. Well, will hit, but...
They know now.
They know. They should know. Or do they have vision here? Now they do.
Now they do.
Hello, Elder Titan. PGG is the one that seemingly is alone. He will get picked off. That's a shame. The rest of his team was too far away to try and help out instantly. Era actually turns on his BKB. Will be safe because of that. The rest of the retry just tries to run. Era leaps. There's leaps and four staffs and blinks. Everybody just runs the hell out of there. But a relocate comes in front. And they go for a smoke upon 3. Slowing down all 3 with the tether as well. Nubik will be the one to die second, rather. Of course, PGG already dead. Yoki not silenced up. Will be putting up his Spike Carapace. Will be living to tell the tale again. And that's going to be the rest of the retry. Teleporting out. Should be safe. Telekinesis. No, too late for that one. Khalif on the other side. Also able to get out. But that was... awkward positioning. I mean, PGG going a different route than the rest of his team. It could have been... Like, if he was more tanky, if he had something like a Vanguard, he might have been able to bait everything out. And then his team would have come in and they would have, you know, pounced upon Fnatic and would have been able to take a fight. But it was just... he died too fast. It was just too much.
Yeah, he got caught out of position and Air was able to capitalize on his bad positioning. The rest of the team tried to fight, then they realized Air had a BKB. They're like, no, we don't. I don't think we want to fight right now. They try to run. Sadly, they have relocated, so you really can't run from that. So that's going to be an Aegis, and we saw how good that can be, like I talked about. Nubik had it last, and it's a big pickup. Now Dagon 5 is done. That's going to be Diffusal Blade as well. They've got all of their items to fight, and maybe even push in here in a couple of moments.
Yeah. Was that a cheese too? Wait, no, right? No. I'm
No,
way too
second.
fast with
That's the
those
second.
cheese. I always think there's more Roshans happening. Oh, Hani in some trouble, impaled up as well, but the overcharge will keep him up for the moment, and a phase shift, and a teleport out. Never mind, he doesn't teleport anymore, and that might have actually hurt him more than anything else, but Eid is the one to die as well as PGG, and never mind that, he is just fine. Gets an impale still, as Yoki is stuck, and will blink himself away. Arrow missed. Yoki, Dream Coil. More hits coming out as Puck will still die. Nubik with the kill. Telekinesis up on Yoki as well. There is a gem on the floor, but nobody cares about it. Everybody just cares about pickups as Nubik is the last one alive here. He has to run. Lina was never there for the fight and actually is, what? Nubik runs? What? Stick charges, Nubik. Stick charges. Never mind. 9 stick charges don't matter for that one. Elder Titan with the Spirit with the kill. 4 for 1. And they did not lose an Aegis for that. They did use BKB charges, but good fight for Fnatic for sure. And I guess it worked out that Hani did not TP out. I mean, he might have died for it, but the Dream Coils and all that stuff did make it worth it in the end.
He didn't even need to use that BKB. He used it right at the end of the fight against pretty much one of the Mirana. So Eric, not the best timing for that. It doesn't really matter though. They get the fight, and anytime you can win a fight, it's okay to use a BKB charge, regardless of if you needed to or not. So Hani actually died. He could have done one more Dagon in that fight had he not died, and probably killed the heroes even faster, gotten Lina somehow. But well, whatever.
Well, that was an Alchemist dead. The other forward. This Ricky pick is really starting to work out. Hasn't used any of his diffusal charges just yet. And the Lina pick, as you mentioned already during the start of the game, it's really been suboptimal. I mean, he hasn't been able to do that much at all. It
worked well in the middle of the game when they had Light Strike, when they were fighting as 5 and they hit Light Strike Rays, and like when Fnatic overextended, that's when Lina is the best because you could just blow people up with your Laguna Blade, with your Dragon Slip, with your Light Strike Ray, and they did that. They did that to great effect, but they can't find pickoffs with her later on as the game goes further. When they need to be aggressive, when they have to find some way to contain their lead, continue having that lead. So.
Oh, leap forward, but he leaps right in the hands of Fly and Hani. You're dead, Nubik. They relocate, just not even used, like, okay, you know what, it would be nice if those two get the kills, but they're just using it to, like, sheep herding, but then hero herding, like, move to the enemies, and that works.
Yeah, I mean, they've done a good job of catching heroes out of position, regardless of, like, if the relocate is on point, and you're right, they just kind of use it to say, okay, you know that the relocate is coming, but guess what, if you go the direction that you want to go, you're going to die either way.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's tough.
It is indeed. I'm waiting for the acid spray. There we go. And Era gets an amplified damage for that as well. Gets himself, of course, vision. He can, of course, purge it off, which is nice. But not using that. He doesn't mind being visible. Whoa, careful there. PGG tried to go for something, but didn't get it done. I think he tried to blink and crush, but he missed the blink and crushed on the high ground. But
no, Hani was there, and I think he actually blinked out. He used his orb and then jaunted in, and Dagon didn't left. But this is a problem, though, for Fnatic, actually. They've got to hit a stomp to really be able to fight this, because Era can't just kind of run up and hit the high ground, because he doesn't do much damage to buildings, in case you haven't noticed.
Yeah, no, they need some form of initiation, and the only way to initiate is either relocate, or, like, pick someone off, know that they fight with outnumbering their opponent, which would be great, but for the moment, they just have to hope that the retry makes a mistake. Which might happen. I mean, we've seen them do it before. They had a good lead on this game at some point. Lost it again. 14k gold in favor of Fnatic right now and 12k experience. Coming back from the 6k in favor of the retry, but we'll see. We'll see if Fnatic tries to do something. Because also, of course, Fnatic is in a position where they are very, well, susceptible to making mistakes, because a mistake made right now would be a fight given to the retry, and they can't afford that.
No, they can't, but they have arrow.
Oh, that's already clipped that though. They get that one going for them as Hani dodges a stun. That's nice enough. Nubik in some trouble. Can't leap. Silence top. Will be telekinesis picked up as well. Buyback from both of them. Both of the ladies there as PGG just comes in. Crushes up on 3. Do they have anything more? The BKBs get turned on. No Teal will still get bursted down by Nubik, who came back, of course. Era arrowed. And, oh, also an Impale and gets picked up there as well. We'll have an Aegis though. We'll be back here shortly, just like No-Till, who bought back. And he will be actually going back to base very soon if he doesn't die first, which is actually the case. But Nubik still dies with him, which is of course a good thing. Krillif, also one that bought back, will die again. Hani double kill. Down goes the Alchemist, and all of a sudden there's only one hero left alive for the side of the retry, which is the Nyx Assassin. But on the side of Fnatic, they haven't been able to push that. Like, they jumped in the fountain, they won that fight, sure, but what are they gonna get? Tier 3?
Hopefully a tier 3 tower. I don't think they will.
I don't think so either. They don't have enough pushing power for this.
maybe because PGG is the only one that'll be up in about 10 seconds here, they can't do much to stop it with just PGG. But I gotta say, with that fight, yeah, they can't do anything actually because there's the only one here. But with that fight, Hani is just so damn good. He knows when to go and when not to go, and when to fight, when not to fight. He knows when to use his abilities. He for pretty much half that fight, he's just out at the base, just make sure he's got all the spells off cooldown before he jumps in. He just throws everything away at him and just absolutely just goes to town.
Yeah. So
Hani is really, like I said, the director of a lot of these initiations, a lot of these fights. Era does the smart thing. He uses, of course, his Aegis before he uses BKB. Yeah. IO goes down, he buys back, he relocates in, just to make sure you can get a little bit more regenning. Obviously, overcharge to have. Fly, I think, went down. I'm not sure, actually. No, Fly lived. He's able to steal Arrow during that entire engagement, throw out a lot of spells. And just a solid all-around fight for Fnatic. And they didn't get a tier 3 tower, like you mentioned, but they're just one fight away from doing that. Or maybe get something like Necros, or just find a way to push into the base. It just is going to be tough, I feel like.
Yeah. I mean, of course, they've been able to do a lot more with the puck than with the Dragon Knight that I suggested, but the pushing power is still kind of lacking. And that indeed shows Necronomicon units would be helping out a lot. Down goes the Alchemist. And actually, Laguna Blade, they want to try and take down No-Tail. Phase Shift is still there. In the meantime, No-Tail in the air, relocating in, looking for Cliff. Cliff, who pops a Ghost Scepter, will be living, but Puck already dead, and Cliff himself, Light Striker Ray, goes for No-Tail, gets picked up, but gets No-Tail in the process as well. And now Era, crushed up, amplified damage is there as well. They have another Impale, but he turns on his BKB, goes for Yoki, knows he might still be visible soon. Again, 3 seconds, they don't see him anymore. They have the gems though, because Puck died and had gems with him, so they see him again, looking for a stun. Arrow gets darked, oh brilliant dark, still the crush is there, Impale there as well, but in comes the Earth Splitter, trying to keep Air up, but it's not enough. It's not enough for sure. Trixie now might be next, might be in trouble. And comes a Stomp, will hit up PGG, will try to run away from this one. He doesn't have a teleport, he does have his mechanism however, and with Rubik coming back as well, able to pick up the Moran, and the rest of the retry has to run away from this one. Losing 2 heroes was not the plan, as they will be trying to make it back to base, should be successful as well, but they got 3 heroes, on there which 2 were cores, and of course they get themselves gems. I believe they still got, no, they lost it again. Did they? I hear a gem. Oh, there it is. It's on the floor. They got at least 1 back.
It's just too aggressive from Fnatic. They just need to play a solid 5-man Dota, and they really aren't doing that now. They're just jumping in whenever, which is fine. They're allowed to. It's their game, but, you know, you're going to lose 3 heroes if that happens, so they're not in danger of losing right now, but they've got to find a way to break high ground, and that's easier said than done. Eul Scepter's done for Hani. That's going to give him a little bit more mobility, flexibility in team fights, so I like the fact that he picks that up. Somebody needs to build a Necro, though, or some way to push it into the base, because right now it's not happening.
Well, Cliff's item build is very enlightening. He's actually, or he was actually very rich. I thought I just saw him having 3,200 gold, but perhaps that was someone else that I had selected. But he has got 3 bracers. It's awesome. So he doesn't have 3,200 gold. I was clicking someone else, I think.
But it's not 6 bracers, though. Wow, that's a shotgun for a Nyx Assassin.
Yep. Just misses the... Well, the shotgun for the Nyx Assassin in combination with Cliff, though. I mean, he doesn't have a Dagon or anything. And he has to be careful, because if he Abyssal Blades someone, Ethereal Blades someone, he of course will also get the Ethereal effect. And Puck has a Dagon.
Well, I think he knows he'll get pretty much killed instantly if he gets caught out of position with his Ethereal Blade on. Still, though, I think Ethereal Blade, Laguna Blade is going to be a disgusting amount of damage. So they've got to be careful for that. Yeah. And, I mean, that's 1 hero that'll die, so...
Oh, leap away. Still the lift and the kill. It's gonna happen. Nubik. Or, no, there we go. I was gonna say, that would be very awkward if he makes it out alive. Eat will end up stunning himself. Wow. Nice! Earthsplitter up on 3 as well because of that. Or should be up on 3, only up on 1, as Ricky is the one to get the kill, actually. Down goes the Lina as well, with the Dagon and the Ethereal Blade working against him, or rather, that was his Ghost Scepter. Eat, trying to run away from this one, looks for a stun. The stun gets actually stolen by Fly, which is a very nice one to steal. There's 2 heroes left alive for the retry, and it looks like it's maybe the end of the fight, as Trixie is just trying to punch this tower away, and finally the first tier 3 will drop. Down goes the Alchemist still, was trying to make his way back to the fountain. Nyx Assassin's still alive, but he's actually being chased out of his base. To the top
Somebody
lane.
play the Benny Hill music. Yoki's just trying to limp away.
But, oh, nice! And now... You actually don't see him if he's face shifted in the ethereal form. That's weird. Both of these
what?
are
You're
running
gonna
away.
leave after that? Oh, they're relocating.
Nice blink. There's only 1 relocate though. Blinking to a tether.
Oh my gosh, Yoki, please
Vendetta.
stop.
Where's those? Oh, the dusts, and they have got.
Oh, he gets his
Oh,
kill.
he gets our
Oh,
kill,
man.
and Io disappears. That's brilliant, and they have a gem with that as well. Awesome. Now he
What
has
a
2.
player.
What a player! I mean, okay, his bottom racks are completely gone, but doesn't matter. That play
Yeah,
was
that
worth
doesn't
it.
matter now.
No, not at all.
Listen,
Miranda
did you
and
see the
Slaughter
plays
got
he
the
made?
item.
He just broke some ankles. I
He
mean,
did.
Hani was chasing him for. I can guarantee you, Hani is like face palming right now. just 'cause
There
he
we
is.
go. No till, Mama Russia. There we go. Smiley face.
Don't you mean
going
Mama
up for that.
Finland?
Dire's middle
No tail?
tower
Come on
is
now.
under attack.
Maybe. But I think he gave credit to Yoki right there. As we do have the GG. It does mean that Fnatic has done all in their power to make it possible for them to go to Kiev. Keep in mind that it is still going to be dependent on if if Na'Vi tomorrow wins from Flipside, then they will indeed go to Kiev. But if Na'Vi happens to lose from Flipside, which is very unlikely by the way, if you look at the rankings, but if Na'Vi happens to lose to Flipside, then there will be a 3-way tie between Rockskiss, Fnatic, and Na'Vi. So that's going to be scary, slightly, for Fnatic at least. But they've done all they can. This was their last game of the season. Good game at that, and I have to say, the retry at the start of the season, not very convincing, but stronger by the game, and it's very enjoyable to watch them play. And as we just
It
saw, I
is.
mean, good plays, right?
Yeah, they may not win all of the games, but if they do so, they do it in style. And if they lose in style, just because
Yeah.
of how well they can play. I'm going to go back and I'm going to keep saying that it was the Lena pickup. I think that wasn't super effective. Alchemist did okay, and Alchemist is really never the problem. Nyx Assassin was great. I think did really well there, but I think actually if I had to choose here, I'd say outpicked in this scenario, even though it was a Ricky Io. Era went hard. He got 23, 5, and 13. That's a nice little stat line coming
Yeah.
out from Fnatic, so I like it.
Yeah, always at least getting a lot of kills in these type of games. 53 to 30. It's no disappointment right there, and the retry having plenty of kills of their own, plenty of turnaround points as well. So indeed, it was just a good game of Dota for sure that we saw here, and of course was our last game of the day. As said, do you have any shoutouts and plugins before we head off?
Once again, thank you for having me. It's always nice to cast with you here for StarLadder. If you enjoyed the casting, you can go ahead and follow me at twitter.com/MarkDota2 and twitch.tv/MarkDota2. And yeah, that's about it.
Okay, and of course for me, follow me on at Shiver Gaming. Do that one on Twitter as well as on Facebook. Like me on Facebook. I need more Facebook likes, I decided recently. I don't know why, but it feels like I'm lacking those compared to the rest. So like me on Facebook, do that. And of course, tomorrow, last day of StarLadder, we're going to have 5 games in total. We're going to see Na'Vi versus Flipside, Alliance versus NextKZ, Oslick Gaming versus Flipside, Flipside versus the Retry, and last but not least, it is Oslick Gaming taking on Relax as our last game of the season indeed, of the group stages at least, as the LAN finals will be happening from the 17th till the 20th of January, so that's 2 weeks from now already. So 1 weekend free and then a weekend of games once again, which will be a double elimination bracket of best of 3s for the top 4 teams that make it through. That will all be decided today. If Na'Vi win their game, then it will be Na'Vi, Alliance, Fnatic, and Sigma will be our teams at the LAN finals anyways. That was it. Thank you for joining. Have a great evening. Stick around for watching commercials if you want to support that way, and otherwise just have a great evening, afternoon, or wherever you're from. Day. Bye-bye.